Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday to all of you. Today's video, we will be traveling a little bit. We will start with Poland, then we will go to Ukraine. We will look into interview that was Netanyahu's interview with The Economist, as well as we look into Jared Kushner's father, Charles Kushner, and that is because of an older interview that Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, has given a few months ago. So that took me on a journey to look briefly into Jared Kushner's father, as I was mentioning him before. And yeah, before I end this video, I want to make a very important announcement. So I hope you stay tuned all the way to the end. And again, before we start, huge thank you to Godelief who donated on my PayPal account. Thank you so much, Godelief. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, for supporting me this way. It means a lot, guys, to all of you who are able to support me on PayPal or Patreon, and to those of you who are ordering my book for children. Such a great value for your kids. I'm absolutely certain that they will love it. The link to order it is down below the video in the description box. Matilda and Odo's Adventures. This is book number 1. There is 4 more coming soon. So thank you so much, guys. Let's jump into the video. Well, let's start with the protests that we had, as I've mentioned before yesterday in my video about the Mercosur deal between EU and those countries in South America. I want to show you a clip from Warsaw in which you can see the protests by Polish farmers. This was 2 days ago on the 9th of January. So let me mute myself. It's a short clip, but it's with a sound, so you can see how that looked like in Warsaw. So as you can read in this post, it says, on January 9th, thousands of farmers from all over Poland took to the streets of Warsaw protesting against the Mercosur agreement and the government's agricultural and rural policies. So I don't know if there will be any success with those protests, because it looks like the deal already is being signed, but I will keep you posted and definitely let you know how the situation is going, moving forward. Now, let me take you to Ukraine and the video that is presented by someone who is Ukrainian, a Ukrainian girl, Ukrainian woman. And that is in regards to celebrating Hanukkah in Ukraine. In many of my videos, I was showing to you the menorah that was placed in the big cities of Ukraine and the big celebration of that holiday, Hanukkah holiday. And as I was explaining to you, the reason for it is because Chabad Lubavitch is deeply involved in the politics there. This is the project of the Great New Israel project. So the reason for those Menorahs, Hanukkah being celebrated there is because of that. But I came across this clip, this post on Instagram, and I want to play this for you because here is a comment from someone who is Ukrainian and how she is responding to it. So first, maybe let's read this and then I will play the video. Let me just find it, guys. Give me a second. Okay. Before I play it, I want to read this. The installation of menorahs on the streets looked strange even before, and now all the more so. There is a great difference between a single monument of celebrating a date from the calendar of the Jewish national minority and the mass, standardized spreading of 7 branched candlesticks across all of Ukraine. So let me mute myself. Let's take a listen to what she has to say, because, yeah, you know, Ukrainian people see this too, right?
Believe what is happening right now during the war in Ukraine. The first time I saw this video was from the capital, from Kiev. Yeah, so they put that thing in the center of Kiev, and I thought, okay, that's really weird that during the war we are doing something like that. Yeah, so the guys are out there dying for the freedom. Yeah, and then we have something like this. Second time I saw this in another city, and I was like, that's not okay. That's not okay. That's something really not okay. But then when I saw that in my city,
ברוך אתה אדינוי אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו.
it's really pisses me off, especially when I've been talking about this with my Ukrainian friends for like years. Like since the beginning of the war, I've been telling them that this is exactly what's gonna happen. And they said to me that this is a fucking conspiracy. You are looking for the enemy outside. That's not the enemy. Enemy is over there. But usually, you know, it's kind of like it usually happens that the biggest enemy is not where it's obvious. The biggest enemy is behind the scene. And this is exactly what is happening. And I'm talking about this not from the perspective of the person who just read it somewhere in the media, because media is a fucking lying shit, and you know that. You should know that if you don't know that. I'm talking that as a person from the perspective of the people, yeah? I'm just bringing up the information that I know myself, that I checked myself. And when I say I checked myself, that I mean that I have people who live in that particular city, and they see that with their own eyes. Okay, so the majority of the occupied cities were sold out for nothing, for really nothing, to people who accidentally have the fucking passport of Israel. So what is this if not an occupation during the fucking occupation? And who is Russia in this case if that happened during the occupation? Guys, it's like, think about this. Can you fucking believe what is happening right now during?
So she's swearing a lot, cursing a lot, but it's about time people realize what's going on, because now this is actually coming to the same conclusion as I was showing to you in my previous videos. This is someone who's from Ukraine, you know? Again, I don't want to repeat myself because it's becoming very repetitive, actually, but it's pointing out one more time how all those so-called opposing forces are being orchestrated by the force behind the scenes. So here we have it. That's her opinion, and that's actually what's going on, everyone. Now, as far as Israel goes, where shall we go? Let's go to the interview that Netanyahu gave, just briefly. And in this interview, I will play a short part for you, how he is justifying its war in Gaza. So let's take a listen. This is very recent interview. Why not? Let's take a listen, how he is justifying that.
Put forward. It doesn't make it true. What is true is that Israel is fighting these worst killers, these people who took not only beheaded our men, raped our women, and then murdered them, burned our babies alive, and took 255 hostages, which we took out. Nobody believed that we got them out. These are barbarians, and they're given a free look. I have demonstrations on behalf of Hamas. Notice that they're burning The flag of Israel and the flag of the UK, the flag of Israel and the flag of America. When you have pro-Israel demonstrations, they wave Israeli flags, they wave American flags, they wave British flags. These people are against you, whether you recognize it or not. They will sweep away your societies, your freedoms, your ideas, the values that we cherish, exactly
Prime
as you
Minister,
do.
it really isn't just extreme radicals. There are
I didn't say that,
huge
though.
numbers of people who are concerned about Israel's behavior, frankly, including people like me.
Well, you
Friends
know,
of Israel who
I
are
think that if
concerned.
Britain was invaded, forgive me, you know, if Britain was invaded and you had the equivalent in Britain, your population is what, 65 million, something like that, 60 million, right? So you're about 6 times our size. So if you had on one day about 8,000 Brits murdered, mutilated, raped, and kidnapped, and they came right next to London, what would you do? We know what you did. We know exactly what Britain did, and I don't hold Churchill or the British government or the British people who supported him responsible for saying you shouldn't act that way. You bombed the living daylights out of German cities and out of French cities that were in your way and so on. We didn't do that. We went in with ground forces. We didn't carpet bomb our way in there because otherwise nothing would be there in Gaza.
I guess you're listening and you're wondering, like, what did he say? He didn't bomb. Nothing would be left there in Gaza. So what is left there in Gaza? Unreal, right? Delusional, or I don't know. I mean, this is like totally reptilian mind, how it operates. So let me take you, and we stay on the same topic as far as that force goes, to the interview, few months old interview with Emmanuel Macron, the president of France. Let's take a listen to this one, just for a few seconds.
Ambassador to France, Charles Kushner, the son-in-law to the President of the United States, Jared's father. He published an article, and I know you've read it, saying France is not dealing with anti-Semitism here in France. He said, not a day passes without Jews assaulted in the street, synagogues or schools defaced, or Jewish-owned businesses vandalized. Your own Interior Ministry reported anti-Semitic incidents even at preschools. Do you accept this criticism as genuine and valid?
Not at all. I think this is a mistake and an unacceptable statement for somebody who is supposed to be a diplomat.
Unacceptable statement.
Yes, never a French ambassador will be allowed to do so. So either you are a person who wants to express freely, fine. If you are a diplomat, you have to follow the rule of diplomacy. And I'm not the one. This is you to pay the ambassador of the United States in France, but the taxpayer money is not properly used to finance this kind of statement. So this is not a speech, a letter, or a word of an ambassador. This is unacceptable. Now, the matter is much more important. And the matter about anti-Semitism is, for me, one of my top priorities. I was the first president in France to adopt a definition of anti-Semitism, making it the equivalent of anti-Zionism. And I've always been very engaged against anti-Semitism. We've worked very hard during the past few years in order to precisely re-engage, have faster sanctions, and I never neglected this topic.
The U.S. ambassador to France.
So he also made sure that not just anti-Semitism, but anti-Zionism is taken care of, right? So let's look into, very briefly, into Jared Kushner. You know who Jared Kushner is. He's the husband of Ivanka Trump, who is the daughter of Donald Trump. His son-in-law of Donald Trump, and he is very, very engaged in the master plan that I've mentioned before, the master plan related to Gaza, the new Riviera in Gaza, where probably all pedophiles will be escaping into their penthouses, and also into the Great New Israel project, because he is, Jared Kushner, he's deeply, deeply, deeply involved into Chabad Lubavitch. He's the believer, okay? So, of course, his father has to be the believer as well. And I think we're going to start very briefly with this. When you look it up, when you just Google it, literally just Google it, and you put Charles Kushner, Chabad Lubavitch. So what does it tell you? It says, father of Jared Kushner and his family have been significant financial supporters and figures with the Chabad Lubavitch movement, with their foundation donating hundreds of thousands of dollars to various Chabad institutions, including centers at Harvard, Florida, and Israel, reflecting the family's deep Orthodox Jewish roots and connections to the movement, which also counts Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump as adherents. I'm sorry if I mispronounce, notes the forward. So here, even you can scroll down and you can see from the forward, this the portal, it says that Kushner Foundation gives $342,000 to Chabad. That was from 2017. Anyway, what did he do? Because he committed some crimes, you know, Charles Kushner, Jared Kushner's father, he committed some crimes. What kind of crimes they were? Because there was a lot. So he was pardoned, by the way. He was pardoned during Trump's first administration by Trump. So what did he do? In 2004, real estate developer Charles Kushner pledged guilty to 18 federal counts, including tax evasion, witness tampering, and making illegal campaign contributions. Tax evasion details. Kushner admitted to assisting in the filing of false tax returns by claiming over $1 million in partnership charitable contributions as business office expenses. I wonder if those contributions were also to Chabad, but I don't know. These actions resulted in IRS losses estimated between $200,000 and $325,000 US dollars. Yeah, well, this is like what he gave to Chabad in 2017. So, you know, in nature, nothing disappears. The energy just moves into different direction, right? Prison sentence. In 2005, he was sentenced to 24 months, so 2 years in federal prison, which was the maximum allowed under his plea agreement. He ultimately served 14 months of this sentence. And related crimes. The case was widely publicized for Kushner's attempt to retaliate against a witness, his brother-in-law, by hiring a prostitute to seduce him, filming the encounter and sending the tape to his sister. So lovely. Now, this man is the ambassador to France, representing the United States. He was pardoned by Trump, like I said, during his first time in office. So I came across the video in which you can see him being in France, just moving there. And I think this is the official, actually, this is the official website from the ambassador, US Embassy of France. So if you're interested, you might subscribe. Let's take a look how life looks in France for this gentleman.
Bonjour, my name is Charles Kushner.
And I'm Cyril.
I'm very proud to have been selected by President Trump to be the ambassador to the French Republic. We are so excited and happy to be in this beautiful city and feel blessed to have this opportunity to represent America. Family and faith are extremely important to me. My parents, Joseph and Ray Kushner, were Holocaust survivors who came to the United States in 1949. Their strength and conviction shaped who I am today. They came as poor immigrants without any means or education, but were lucky to have survived when so many of my family were executed. My parents loved and appreciated our great country just as I do. and it is important for me to share their story and my story.
We now have 14 grandchildren, with one additional one on the way. As our family grew, we passed on the importance of faith and education, and we're so proud of our children and grandchildren. We are really looking forward to their visits and sharing our incredible French experience with them.
As ambassador to the French Republic, I am dedicated to building an even stronger relationship with our oldest ally. Our shared history is a testament to the strength of our alliance and the values we hold dear. Values like democracy, freedom, and free speech. We have fought alongside France to secure these values, and we pay tribute to every American that ensured these values remain for generations to come. I'm ready to learn as much as I can about France, and alongside our dedicated Mission France team. I will focus on several key issues, including trade, defense cooperation, and Holocaust education during my tenure. Each of these issues contributes directly to making America safer, stronger, and more prosperous, and they are issues in which we can closely collaborate with France. And looking forward to 2026, when we celebrate America's 250th birthday, we will also celebrate our incredible relationship with France, our oldest ally. You have been part of our story since the beginning, which makes it even more special for me to be here as your ambassador. I am deeply committed to serving the United States and grateful for this opportunity. And Cyril and I both look forward to advancing our special partnership with France. Thank you, France, for welcoming me to your amazing country. A bientôt.
Well, c'est la vie, right? So very nice, beautiful palace or maison, how you say it in French, where he resides. And I just wonder if his grandchildren know that he hired a prostitute to seduce his brother-in-law and then to film the encounter, I'm reading that, of course, and send the tape to his sister. This is the ambassador to France, sent from the United States. So guys, you know the next goal is Iran, right? Because that's their plan. I want to take you to a video. This is actually with Charlie Kirk, when he said few things about Iran. This was his one of his latest, I think, interviews that he gave. So this is quite interesting. One of the reasons that he was not convenient anymore. Let's take a listen to his words about Iran. That will be the next escalation. We know this. I think we all know this. That's how they wanted to unfold, and it will unfold. The outcome is questionable, but the action will be there. I don't doubt it at all.
Must be done with Iran is we must remember that we, the American government, are the reason why Iran is radical. We did this. They had a democratically elected leader that we did not like. I believe his name was Mossadegh, and we didn't like him because he wanted to nationalize the oil. Specifically, the Brits didn't like it.
50s. This is
what
year was this PPD?
Yeah,
okay, gotcha. This is before the show.
Yes, he was very popular.
Yeah, gotcha.
And look right there. Even in Wikipedia, 1953 Iranian coup d'etat aided by intelligence agencies of the UK and United States.
Weird. Got it.
Okay, so then we put the Shah back in, who was sick and unpopular, meaning he was actually suffering. Physically sick. And we paved the way for the most radical elements of Islam for many decades.
What must be done with Iran
is we.
So there you have it, everyone, in a nutshell. Now, was it yesterday or some videos ago, I showed you how everything, well, most things are presented in the movies as far as what they, when we say they, you know what I mean, the force behind those movements, geopolitical events, etc., what they are planning to do. They tell you in advance, right? They tell you in advance. Most of the time is set, that story, that plan, through the movies. So here I came across another post about what is planned as far as the Greenland goes, and is Trump going to serve the third term? I have showed you that movie, Greenland movie, few videos ago. And now this post from Instagram goes a little bit more into that depth as far as the reasoning for it, and is also showing is Trump going to serve the third term. And there is a map, which I was not aware of, that George Orwell had. That map looks very much similar to Monroe Doctrine map that was saying that there are three powers in the world that are, the world is divided under the, was the word, under the influence or under the power of those three powers. So we have China, we have Russia, and we have the United States. So let's take a listen to this clip. Very interesting, because here we have the script related to Greenland and perhaps Trump's third term as well.
The movies always tell the truth. What if I told you that there might be some other reasons that we want Greenland? Not just movies. People like George Orwell with 1984, maybe he knew what was going to happen. This look familiar? This is George Orwell's 1984 map. You can see US in the blue and all of what it owns. That seems a little bit too close when we look at the geopolitical landscape right now. And of course you heard about Apophis, which is the god of destruction, they say. And ancient tech from a guy who was right about a whole lot of stuff. And then we start talking about the president's third term. I mean, y'all, this is just outrageous. So let's start right here. There's a movie made that's called Greenland, in which they were the only location that can survive the apocalypse or Apophis, which even ancient manuscripts talk about. And remember, I just showed you yesterday, the president said we'll take Greenland with or without problems.
I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
Speaking of the hard way, the U.S. State Department just released this video on what it was like to do the Venezuelan raid and about their technology that can make people bleed out their nose, throw up, vomit, and pass out. Which, by the way, is the same exact thing that Venezuelan bodyguards are talking about. You know, the bleeding out of their nose? Really crazy. And coincidentally, at the same time, we not only have a Trump insider talking about he will have a third term despite the 22nd Amendment, they already have a plan, but also, the president said while he was running, my beautiful Christians, vote this one last time, you won't have to do it no more. And then we have this theorist who I believe passed away in 2018, look into it, where he's talking about how Greenland has ancient tech under the ice.
Well, the spacecraft that is anchored in the center of Greenland created the last ice age 50,000 years ago. It's a weather machine. It's 55 miles wide, 300 miles long, and 2 miles high. People that lived in it were called the Mois.
If you know, you know. Greenland, Alaska, a place in Russia. So am I really reaching, or does it really seem pretty planned out? If you think it's reaching, then you are just oblivious, my friend. The movies all
And I agree, nothing is random, nothing is a coincidence, and everything, and absolutely everything has been planned much, much more in advance. But I would like to know your thoughts. Is Trump going to serve the third term? I think there is a high chance for it, even though it might look like not. I think there are different scenarios that they are preparing for. One of which I told you already is to remove him and put J.D. Vance into his place, because J.D. Vance and the artificial intelligence and digital ID on the steroids. That is no stopping that for sure. Not like Trump is stopping it. It's just J.D. Vance will like rapido, speed it up. Or, he will continue. Third term, we see. Let me know what you think about everything I showed you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. And I have to make a very important announcement. I almost forgot. I would like to ask you for not emailing me. Many of you, I have some number of you that are emailing me several emails almost daily. And I would appreciate if you stop, because I do my own research. I know where it comes from as far as your emails go, but it's becoming very overwhelming and it's almost bringing me, I wouldn't say anxiety, but I really don't appreciate it. It's almost too much. The same with DMs. So please, if you send me email once in a while, I understand, but there are a few people who keep on sending me almost everything they come across, like them dumping it into like a spam or something. And I don't think this is the way to really communicate with anyone. I would never email anyone, even people who I know that frequently, with so much stuff. So please stop. Stop with the DMs and stop with the emails. Trust me, I can do my own research. I appreciate what you do, but at the same time, it's just too much. And the email that I provide to you down below this video is for you to contact me if you're interested in ordering my book, not in sending me all the videos that you have watched or all the information that you come across. So those of you who are doing this, just please stop. Otherwise, I will be removing the emails from contacting me. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. All the links to everything I just presented to you will be attached down below in the description box. And as always, if you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, leave the comments, let me know what you think. And I see you in the next video. Bye, everyone. Oh, I forgot to say, lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. I think my announcement kind of set me off a little. Sorry, guys. I see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.